if you wanted. Only a little bit. I mean, I'm not a big fan on rotation. I mean, not anything special really, just transforms things a little bit. Okay, so once you've done that, you need to go to random effector, again, still in random effector. You need to now go into fall off, and you need to scroll down a bit. You see where it says it's at 50%? You need to make this 100%, because this 100% will make the difference on how smooth it flows, how smooth it goes through the text. Because if you look at it with 100%, it's constantly changing. It's constantly kind of adjusting itself. But for example, if we put it down to 0, it's terrible. Look, it's just everywhere and just looks awful. It's just really slow and brick-like. I mean, it's like slamming together. You don't want that. So make sure that you put your fall off to 100%. And from there, you want to drag this into the effectors group so that it is a group. Now it's a group, so when you go to move this, moves as one. You don't have to have multi-selection by holding shift, just easier. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my timeline, because we're going to make keyframes now. Adjust my timeline to 125. Now that's about 5 seconds or so. Now you might want to make yours longer, but for the purpose of this tutorial I don't really need to have it any longer than that, because this is just a tutorial. But feel free to adjust the length of your video by however much you want. So you could go to 200 frames, 250 frames. But bearing in mind, the longer your video, the longer it takes to render. So I would be careful about that. Anyway, right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit a keyframe on 0, drag this green bar right to the end at 125 frames, and just drag this all the way through, and then hit a keyframe again at the end. So when we go back, we should get this really, really nice, cool transition. Yeah, sorry, it's not, you can't really see that right now because it's, I don't know, it's playing up, but I'll pause it just to show you that it is transforming. That was my little brother sneezing. Anyway, back to the tutorial. So we've done all this, done all the keyframing. We now need to select texts first. So we go to select the texts. We're going to go to MoGraph, and we're going to go to delay effector, which is here. Now what this will do is it will add a nice kind of spring to it. So you see on effector, you need to go to effector and you need to select spring. Now I'd crank this up to about 68, 70 between. And what you'll see this does is when you just zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Oh my god, go away. Just zoom in a little bit so you can see this. But basically, when you play, hold on, I'll just drag it for it to be easier. When you're playing through, you get this kind of, if you look at the P, it like slams together and springs, like it ripples. Can you see that? It's kind of, it doesn't just stick together, it kind of springs into place, and I think it looks really cool. Now that may be a little bit too much spring, so crank that down to about 60. But yeah, so now what we need to do is go to our text again, select both of them, and right click, MoGraph tags, rigid body. Right, so now we have both rigid bodies selected on this. What you want to do is you want to select the first rigid body that you have. You want to go to dynamics and at velocity peak. So basically what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to smash through the text all the time. And on presents, you then want to go to presents and check the rigid body. You want to uncheck dynamic, and then go back to the bottom one, but don't go into rigid body, go into the actual text, go into effectors and uncheck plain effector, so that when we watch this through, we should get this mess. Just look so cool. There's bits of text flying off everywhere. Hold on, I'll have to. Right, so look at that. It's just awesome. Just render that out quickly. It's got bits of text flying everywhere, just going all over the place and making a mess. It just looks awesome. Love it. Anyway, go back to 0, and you want to go now. You want to go to the light settings. Sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. You want to go to light settings, and you want to go to camera. Now, this view currently, you're not actually the camera. You're viewing what the camera would see. So that's your camera there. What you want to do is you want to check that box so that you're seeing what the camera sees, instead of what you're actually seeing through the camera instead of seeing the camera. Okay, so basically, start off your video about here, probably. Maybe stoop it round a little bit more, come across a little bit, up just a little bit. What we want to do is we want to keyframe it there. I'm going to drag through to the end of 125 frames. Drag through to the end. God. Right, anyway, drag through to the end, and then what you're going to do now is you're going to adjust your camera to where you want it to end up finishing. Now this is just a very, very basic camera, so nothing special going on there. It's just a basic tutorial. Hold on, sorry, just trying to get the camera in a good place. You want to stoop it around this way. You want to bring it down. You want to bring it back. You want to bring it up this way. Maybe not have quite such a vicious stoop on it. Just zoom in a little bit, and then go about there. Go about there, and then basically just keyframe that on 125. So when you get through, it's probably going to glitch out again, yeah, but you'll just see the camera following this, smashing through. So it's going to break all the text. The camera's going to show it breaking the text here. It's going to start breaking into presents. If I just pause it there a sec, camera's coming across the text. All this mayhem's going on. You got all this mess, looking great. The camera's good, keeping most of the text in the view, and then finishing up over here. Okay, so you get the idea. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to lighting. Sorry, that's my brother being a retard, and that's my computer being a retard. Anyway, we're going to go to lighting, and we're going to select a normal light. Now the text will go black really quickly, but that's fine. If you just bring it back, bring it up, probably look alright. Let's just quickly render that out, let's have a look. Yeah, that looks fine. Now basically what we want to do is we want to go in here again, and we want to add a floor. The floor should be fine where it is. Yeah, there's plenty of space. Right, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a new material by double clicking in the materials box and double clicking in the material. You want to change the color to as pure white as you can get it. Go to reflection, turn on reflection, turn that down to about 20-30%, and then add a Fresnel texture and turn the Fresnel down to about 30 or 40 as well, because things aren't, the Fresnel adds a more realistic reflection, because things aren't naturally that reflective. So just drag and drop that onto the floor, quickly render that out. Should get this nice reflective text on the floor and get this really nice theme going on, the blue. And yeah, right, so now that looks really good. What you want to do is you want to go into the floor, you want to right click, MoGraph, rigid body. Then what you want to do is make sure that that's enabled, that this is all good. Yep, that's fine. So that basically when it plays, what's going to happen is the text is going to stay on the floor instead of going through the floor, because adding rigid body, sorry, don't know what happened there. Adding rigid body gives it a gravity effect. So if we quickly render that out, you'll see that instead of falling through the floor, you actually get the bits of text stay on the floor. Like at the back there, it's on the floor. At the front here, you've got bits actually on the floor. So that looks really nice. Okay, so basically that is the tutorial. If you have any problems with it or need a bit more help, please send me a message, comment on the video, rewind it as many times as you need to catch up on what you missed or to understand things properly. Please rate, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And big up to AcrezHD for helping me with this video. He's taught me a lot. And big up to ChromeDesigns as well. He's a very good tutorial bloke. I recommend you visit those channels. That's AcrezHD and ChromeDesigns. Yeah, but please rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.